That was terrible.
That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday.
Christopher, this is everything but the Cowboys and Niners, right?
There's no Cowboy related.
Because we're having a separate version of this later on.
Just for the Cowboys.
Please.
There is one 49er item in here, but let's start with Saturday. The Buffalo Bills had the most impressive win over the weekend.
I would think so. Because there's so much riding on the line and beating New England. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with last year, okay? Even with getting to the AFC Championship game last year, losing 2 of 3 to New England would have been, here we go again. It would have pushed everything back to square one with question marks. And you just look at the way the Cowboys season ended. The home loss, the only home team to lose so far, with questions and recriminations and who's to blame conversations. That's your alternative. But they also just destroyed and dismantled New England. And the good thing about it, we'll talk about it throughout the rest of the week, is that Buffalo, there is no sense at all like that's the pinnacle, right? Like you destroy your arch nemesis, and that's all you need to do because the rest of it is house money. The fact that the next game is Kansas City, and this is the team that they lost to in the AFC Championship game last year. I mean, Stephon Diggs staring at that celebration going down on the podium to see how it feels for the other team to win it all. He wanted to sense that. Well, that moment has now arrived for him. To set that up, to beat New England the way that they did, yeah, I'd say that that's a proper reaction, Chris, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then on the other side, the other sideline there, I said worst playoff loss, maybe worst loss ever. That was Belichick's worst playoff loss ever.
Yeah.
Would you say worst loss of his career? Take it one step further?
Well, let's just flip it. The Bills became the first team to ever get the ball and score only touchdowns. No punts, no tries for field goals because you have to settle. No turnovers. You got the ball. You scored a touchdown. The only times where you touched the ball and did not do it is end of first half. You just knelt the ball, catching the final kickoff of the half. And also, you knelt out to end the game. Victory formation. By the way, Trubisky victory formation once open for Bachman Turner overdrive. So,
how about this? How about the title of this graphic?
The Bills are alive with the sound of TDs. Well done. That's a Smith special, I think.
Also, shout out to me. What's more likely on Friday? I said more touchdowns in this game or the temperature at kickoff.
I know, which was
6. The Bills did it themselves.
I know they did it.
Gosh.
What else you got over there, Chris?
I'm also really glad that ended up being a blowout because, like I say, in the blowout or close territory, I'd rather lose by a blowout because I was able to actually enjoy the rest of my Saturday night by drinking the hard brown stuff.
You had that Henny? Was you on that Henny hand?
It was so delicious. I totally forgot what happened in the game. All right, 49ers.
Was you sipping on that yak?
Overreaction. Here we go. Jimmy G, guys. Jimmy G, not impressive yesterday. He cannot be trusted to make a deep playoff run.
No, man. I think he had a really good game, and then just the moment.
But that's the moment, though. It happens for him.
I tweeted out.
That kind of good game.
Tweeted out during that game that I even texted you that's probably gonna be his last attempt of the day.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
Immediately
they kept going.
threw right after.
They kept going.
Why can't Kyle Shanahan help himself?
I don't know, brother. But all I know is that was terrific. And again, once again, Jimmy G, don't forget, in this season, everything going on. Trey Lance throws the first touchdown pass of the year because they do put him in the red zone. And this is the idea that Jimmy's just going to be between the 20s and the red zone is Trey Lance. And that is, I mean, that feels like a different galaxy, not the same even calendar year, which it isn't, I guess, or the same football season. He is remarkable, and I will say that's an overreaction. What else you got over there, Chris?
It is too bad we're talking about kind of the officiating for this team because they are so damn impressive. They are so damn likable. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are just so damn cool. The Bengals are the team that nobody wants to play.
That's correct. I agree. If the Bengals and Niners play each other in the Super Bowl, first of all, sorry, Cincinnati, because that would bring up every other trip you've ever made to the Super Bowl and every single piece of video that you don't want to see ever again. And you'd be like, really? Every time we make the Super Bowl? It would be the matchup of the two teams that nobody wants to see play each other. I mean, well, it'd be the matchup of two teams that nobody wants to ever see and play. I think it would be a highly entertaining Super Bowl. Certainly since Joe Burrow is so much fun to watch. He really is. And then just see what he has become for the Bengals and their fans. It's just terrific. We had a great piece on game day morning on Saturday. Spoke to his dad, spoke to his youth football coach. We were showing youth football video of Joe Burrow. It was so much fun. The guy is a gamer. He was born to do what he is doing right now. And my favorite part about this, about Joe Burrow, is he is doing this for Cincinnati and has become what he's become because Ohio State just said, not here. Oh, it's amazing. It's so great. It's so great. And all the Ohio State fans claim him. They claim him. Couldn't find a spot. Oh, it's the greatest. I hope he goes on like a Brady-like run, and it'll be like, yeah, Michigan kept Tom, even though we didn't play him all the time, but it created the fire. You telling him go to LSU helped create the fire. Oh, I hope that's part of this whole thing. But that's a proper reaction. They are terrific, and it's fun to watch.
It's Rich, guess what? Joe Burrow is going to be that dude. So
I think he's becoming it right before our eyes, and it's terrific.
Joe Burrow's that dude.
Well, we'll find out because Tennessee's going to try and run the ball down their defense's throat with Derrick Henry. What else, sir?
All right, Rich, I saw that you stuck with Chiefs-Bucks Super Bowl.
I did.
I predicted that before the season as well.
Yes.
And
Me too.
it just looks like it, guys. Super Bowl 56 here in Los Angeles. Chiefs, Bucks, rematch.
Well, here's the deal, man. It is great to see the offense run like it was running, and then they're having the fun, like Kelsey throwing its first ever career touchdown, and then getting his mom asking him a question afterwards.
His mom went to both games yesterday.
I know, because Jason Kelsey played in Tampa earlier in the day. And then also, seeing a big, thick six, and they're rolling, right?
Rolling.
The Bills are rolling too, man. And the one thing that I do like for the Bucks is what a draw. The Rams wind up losing. They're not in week 18. They're not the 2 seed, they're the 4 seed. They got to play this game tonight, and then they've got to come visit Tampa. Not the other way around. Tampa doesn't have to come back here where they've already lost to take on the Rams.
Right.
They just sit around. And I know they had to play a game, unfortunately for them, in which Tristan Wirfs is hurt in that game. I like the way that they just sit at home. A West Coast team has got to come on a short week, first ever Monday Night Football playoff game. You never know what that team's going to look like the next week because this has never been like this is all new ground. You'd rather be the one sitting at home saying, come on, West Coast team here to the East Coast. Come here. And I like their draw. And see if the Niners can beat the crap out of the Packers or even knock them off and they don't have to move at all before flying out here.
Yeah, last year they went all road games.
So I'll say that's an overreaction for the moment because they're that Bills team, and then of course there's a Packers team that I'm sure will soak in this whole 49er love that's going on this week and ball it up and use it to their advantage. So I'll say that's an overreaction for the moment.
All right, last one. My man Chris in LA kind of touched on this, but based on how these games have gone with the 2-7, adding a 7th playoff team, kind of a big mistake.
Well, I will say that there's 2 parts to this equation. The way the 7th seeded teams have performed in their first 4 games.
Not great.
The Colts against the Bills last year is the high water mark, where a Hail Mary by Phillip Rivers that never reached the end zone was the way that game ended. It was that close. The other ones haven't been close. But you also have to factor in the 7th team that's in makes the last regular season week what it was this time around. Week 18 was off the charts, man. So it's not just how they performed this week, it's how the regular season ends and how many teams are interested in, how many fan bases are interested in the final week because there's that 7th team. It's more than just how they perform on Wild Card weekend that goes into it.
So maybe it should have been the wrong teams made the 7th seed this year.
Maybe that's a better reaction.
If we had the Chargers in there or the Saints or something like that, like would have been a little bit better.
Well, the Saints were banged up. I don't think you want Trevor Siemian starting a playoff game. That's not what you're looking for. With all due respect, I should have put the all due respect first because it was disrespectful the other way around. But
I just think
and at some point in our lifetimes, 7's going to beat it 2. I mean, somebody's going to be the UMBC of this equation. You know what I mean?
16 eventually beat the 1. So.
It's what I'm saying. Like, it will happen. Yeah. But again, part of this is also the way the regular season ends. And then, of course, there's the money. Of course. I was told that part of the reason why CBS paid for that window yesterday. That's part of the reason I heard is that that's why CBS got Cowboys and Niners. Part of the reason.
4 o'clock.
It's money, man.
America's team.
Man, I can't wait to see the ratings on that. It's got to be through the roof.
Well, it was a tight game, and of course, as you say, it's America's team, which means I guess America's tapping out of the rest of the playoffs since their team is out.
They probably. I mean, you're going to see the ratings decline for sure.
Oh my gosh!
Of course.
Oh yeah, nobody's going to watch Bills Chiefs this weekend.
Nobody's watching that. Packers Niners, please.
Look. Junior varsity games are fun.
That's such a Pop Warner matchup.
Junior varsity games are fun for the parents and the grandparents.
They might as well
to come
run the
watch.
annexation of Puerto Rico in that game.
The girlfriends and cheerleaders ain't watching, though.
All right, speaking of that, and I wanted to do this one for one because I literally just thought
we got
of it.
One more? You got one more?
They don't have a graphic because I just made it up.
Okay.
Did we?
Okay, Omaha.
Did we get robbed?
Yeah, what do you got?
Do we get robbed of a Bills-Chiefs AFC Championship game that it has to be this weekend instead?
Yes.
Like, that feels like it could be a Super Bowl, Bills-Chiefs.
Well, I mean, how many times do you see like a conference championship game and a conference title game in a series in the NBA say this is kind of for it all, right?
Yeah.
We've seen AFC or NFC championship games saying, remember that one it was perfect example. Niners Cowboys in 94.
Yeah, that felt like that was.
It's like whoever wins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's a letdown in the Super Bowl. Let's see what the AFC Championship game looks like if it's Cincinnati at Buffalo, by the way, which Buffalo will be rooting heavily for Cincinnati with the hope that they get a home game. Tennessee, Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati again. Right? I mean, these will be of interest, and the winner of it can get to the Super Bowl and win it all. There's no doubt. Take a look at the final 8 here, Chris. Look at the final 8. Wow. Who has no shot at winning it all? Who has no shot of winning 3 in a row? You can't say that. Every last remaining team in this tournament, the Elite 8 of the NFL, has a 3-game winning streak in them. Every last one of them can do it.
Even whatever team wins tonight.
Yeah. Well, they got to. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't sit here and say whoever makes the AFC Championship game, it won't be as competitive as Bills Chiefs. Because Chiefs Bengals, we just saw that game a couple weeks ago. That had a lot of explosiveness to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. By the way, I appreciate you keeping the NFL Films music going because this is technically the overtime portion of Overreaction Monday. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.